These are a few of the faces of men arrested recently in Southwest Florida accused of committing crimes against or involving a child. Child exploitation and pornography happens right here in Southwest Florida, and law enforcement works to track those committing these horrible crimes. Wake News Safety and Security Specialist Rich Kulko takes you behind the scenes of the Computer Forensics Lab, where agents and analysts find the evidence to put the bad guys away and protect your children.
Phew, awesome. Over me. What does it say?
Protecting children. It's a parent's job, but that doesn't always happen, and it doesn't stop the creeps from pursuing the youngest, most innocent of our society.
Child exploitation is one of the worst crimes that we have to investigate, and unfortunately, it is a huge problem here in Southwest Florida.
That is John Yancey, a special agent assigned to Homeland Security Investigations, or HSI. When it comes to child exploitation, there are three basic elements of the crime: possession and viewing images, then distribution, finally, production of images and videos.
Each time someone uses child pornography, if they download it, view it, whatever, the way the law sees that is they're actually re-victimizing the child.
One of those cases unfolded in Fort Myers.
Right, so in 2007, our office investigated an offender called Jeffrey Dinkle. We received the lead actually from our headquarters unit. It's called C3.
C3 is a cyber crime center targeting distributors of child pornography. They sent a lead to HSI in Fort Myers.
We were able to develop enough PC to execute a search warrant at that residence. Went in, collected the computers, the devices, those type things.
Those devices came here to the HSI office in Fort Myers, where cyber forensic analysts in this room examined the evidence. HSI found the evidence, but Dinkle took off before agents could arrest him. That landed him on HSI's top 10 list, the first Fort Myers resident to do so.
And then in 2019, we were able to find him. He had been living, I believe, in New York or somewhere, and he traveled back to the area.
He's now serving time in federal prison. Meanwhile, the investigations go on. Tamara Glover of HSI has interviewed hundreds of victims.
There are no boundaries as it pertains to potential victims of this type of crime. It crosses various communities, socioeconomic statuses, races, and cultures.
Meaning any child can become a victim. And some of the people sitting in their homes viewing child pornography don't see it as a crime. Nothing is further from the truth.
It's some of the toughest casework that we'll ever have to do just for that, because the investigator who works those cases, we have to go through the evidence. And it's a terrible thing just to review the evidence and to expose yourself to the horrible crimes that are being committed. But at the end of the day, they're also one of the most rewarding type cases that we get to work when you're able to lock up some of these terrible offenders.
And as Yancey just said, these are some really tough cases for investigators to work. The agents working them have many checks and balances in the office to make sure they stay mentally healthy throughout this program, and they're often rotated off the squad after a certain period of time. Reporting in the newsroom, Rich Kulko, Wink News Now.